Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here, and joined in studio by Ronan McNamara.
How are we?
How are you getting on?
The A-team are back.
The A-team are back. No dial-ins this week, just full-on office job. How are you keeping, all right?
I'm good. I'm getting over last Sunday, so I'm slowly getting towards full better mental health, I think.
We've had a lot of golf to get through to get us over it, but yeah, there's lots to get stuck into this week. Have you been up to anything during the week at all, or apart from travelling
all
up
over
and
the
down
place?
the country?
Wasn't I up in Donegal in Sea Point? Played a bit of golf on Sunday, and I was in Portmarnock as well, so I'm all over the place. The mileage bill is going to be hefty.
Looking forward to seeing that one this month. I took a trip over to Woburn, as I was saying last week, with Titleist. First look at their new GT line of drivers and fairways. Yeah, really nice insight into them. They're sort of only tour seeding them at the minute, and not doing like the full media launch isn't until I think it's August 1st or August 2nd, something in around that. So loads of stuff to come on that, but yeah, nice to get an insight into what they're at, and some facility. Unreal. It's kind of the place we had in Carton before that people will be familiar with. It's like 10 times the size of that, but it's a tour facility, like, and it's just full exclusive place. Savage insight, like.
That's how you done your back out, hitting too many drivers.
Yesterday I done me back in yesterday, yeah, and I'm off again tomorrow, but yeah, don't know will I get golf in this week yet. The little violins are out all over. Right, before we get stuck in, quick shout out to Cleveland Shrixon, who are sponsoring the pod. So if you are in the market for wedges, they have a really cool offering on at the minute. So chip in with Cleveland Golf by trading in any old wedge, and you get either £25 or €30 off a brand new Cleveland Golf wedge. So they'll either donate your wedge that you trade in to charity or have it sustainably recycled, ensuring all wedges are in it for the long game, not just a short game. So terms and conditions apply. To find your nearest Cleveland stockist, go to eu.dunlopsports.com/Cleveland Golf. So Lowry's performing quite well the last week. I know we'll get stuck into him, but his Cleveland wedges as well. So with his zip core that he has in the bag, I seen he finished tied second overall in strokes gained approach this week, and 2 for 2 on sand saves, so top of that list as well. So he's obviously got a good wedge game going on. But like I said, visit any Cleveland stockist and they'll have more information on the wedge trade-in scheme. So, focusing. We might as well start this off on the amateur side of things rather than the usual PGA Tour, European Tour, DP World Tour. We've so much going on in the AM scene, so we're just off the back of an Irish-hosted amateur championships. Ronan, you were up there for most of the week. June up in Ballyliffin. Nice and calm, huh?
Not really.
It had teeth. It had serious teeth.
The first day I went up was lovely, and the second day, it was all right. And then the day I went home, mother of God, like the weather they got for the semi-final and the final was just absolutely brutal. But typical Irish summer weather up in Donegal. I actually ended up going up at the complete wrong time. So somebody from the RNA told me not to bother going up for the stroke play. And I was like, grand, no bother, just go for the matches. 26 Irish competing. Surely we'll get maybe 4 or 5 through to the match play after the stroke play qualifying. We just got the 2, so after 2 days up in Donegal, it was time for me to go home.
What's it like? How do we sum that up? I know we've, like, it's a problem, isn't it? It is a problem. Like, only 2. I know it's like, look at a draw, you have some of the best amateurs in the world, but like, we had 26 home-based players in that field, and only 2 make it to the match play stages. So you have Max Kennedy and Sean Keeling. Surely some of the other guys should be doing a lot better than that.
Yeah, it's a funny one, because Ballyliffin, unless you were playing the home internationals a couple of years ago, it's probably not a golf course you're going up to play very often. So I suppose that kind of home advantage wasn't completely taken out of the Irish hands, but in a way, it might have acted as a bit of a leveller. After the first day of stroke play, things were looking quite dodgy. We only had 2 or 3 making the cut at that stage, and midway through the second day, it was looking okay. And then there was a couple of bad finishes for some players, and by God, I was driving up to Donegal thinking, how long am I going to be here for? But it was disappointing, considering it's a tough cut to make. There was over 200 players playing, only 64 going through, so it is a tough cut. But it was disappointing, and there was such a great buzz about having an amateur championship in Ireland again. And so many players are talking about, trying to replicate what James Sugrue did in Portmarnock.
But it's a third of the field. That's the thing.
A third of the field
to get it through, and we only had 2 out of 200.
Yeah,
that on a home. I know, whatever about course, but our lads are used to those conditions and normally are good battlers and stuff like that. It's just not pointing any fingers at people. Like, people in glass houses, it's easy to throw stones and criticise, but it just seems an abysmal return on what we had starting off in that field.
It was, yeah. It sucked the life out of the place as well. There was no real buzz during the knockout stages, really. The crowd was quite sparse. I know there was a bit of a crowd for the final and the semi-finals, but it would make you wonder kind of what happened. Maybe it's because we've had a lot of our top amateurs have gone pro this year, like Mark Power is a pro, Rob Moran's a pro, Alex Maguire is a pro. So Rob Brazel's a pro as well. So we have lost, a lot of depth maybe, and maybe that's why we haven't performed in this year's championship.
Yeah, there was. I have to put it I have to say, I didn't make the trip up. You were there on site, but on TV, Sky Sports coverage was class in this. You could watch a lot of it through the red button, and I did. I kept up to it. I watched more of this than I did the other golf over the weekend when they were all on together, and Ballyliffin looked superb.
Yeah, it was my first time being up there, and it's just massive.
Yeah,
it's a massive place. 3 golf courses and space for 4 or 5, to be honest. And the views are spectacular, even if the golf was a bit disappointing. But it's a cracking golf course. Like, that Clisheedy is an absolute beast.
Yeah, no, it is. It was top class, and fair play to all the green staff and John Farron and his team up in Ballyliffin inside in the office as well. They seem to have ran a seriously good show.
It was very, very professional up there.
Yeah,
like we go to a few Challenge Tour events, and this was set up a lot better. Like, there was a proper, media centre, player, physio and gym area, kind of a chill area for players, like just bean bags and a few TVs and some that stuff they put on their legs that they sit into. I don't know what it's called. But
the cryogenic stuff.
Nonsense.
That's nonsense. The stuff that helps you recover, Ronan, that stuff when you're playing loads of games of golf.
And even the driving range just had
Sean Boylan just have them out in the sea. That's what you're used to, you see.
Yeah, run laps around Bettystown, you'd be grand. And the driving range had flags from every nation, including Saudi Arabia, but we won't go into that. And just all the branding there just makes it, going the extra mile, makes it look proper and everything like that. So it was really well run. Just
on all the nations' flags, was there a Kenyan guy? Was it? Did you see this story earlier on the week?
Oh man, I was so gutted. The one thing, never mind the poor Irish return, I was gutted driving up that this man didn't get through. Yeah, so
for anyone that wasn't, I don't have his name in front of me. It was just when you said all the flags, I just got a mind back. So this guy arrived in from Kenya, his clubs didn't arrive, and he got a rental set. And he shot one over the first day and was well inside the cut line with a rental set. Now this was a mix, a mishmash of all sorts of clubs, 10, 12-year-old clubs. So it wasn't a really up-to-date rental set as well. But this guy came very, very close to making the cut.
He did. Michael Karanga Warigia, the cult hero of amateur golf now.
Savage though.
But it was just regular flex clubs, the stuff you get on a press trip to.
I was looking at the putter. The putter was a tailor-made smoke putter from 12 years ago. I was going Jesus Christ, and he pipes it around the amateur and 1 over par the first day.
Yeah, it took him a while to get used to it. He opened up with 3 bogeys in a row, then back-to-back birdies, a bogey, 6 pars, 2 birdies, 3 pars, and a bogey. And even after 9 holes on the second day, he was in position, and he bogeyed 4 of his last 5 holes to miss out by 4 shots.
Yeah,
which is just gutting.
Yeah, it'd be sick. But no, he's one to watch, definitely.
But I wonder if it was under pressure, you just probably didn't trust the equipment. Mentally, that could be a tough hurdle to overcome. Or
you can look at it the other way. Mentally under pressure, he doesn't have his own clubs. He going I am at nothing here, and he just played free with no pressure on him. And then when he realised, shit, there's something happening here, because he had people following him around. He had the camera crew. This would have been a huge story for the RNA if he actually made the 64. It would have been a great story. But yeah,
it's funny to think about though.
Little sideline things on that, but so Max Kennedy and Sean Keeling were the only 2 that did make it through. Sean fell at the first hurdle, came through, just didn't happen for him at all. You followed that game, did you?
Yeah, I followed bits and pieces. So himself and Max were playing a few matches between each other, and Sean just never got going against Lev Greenberg of Ukraine, beaten 5-3. just made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes that just looked like a 17-year-old playing out there, if you get me. Just if your man went into trouble, he'd follow him into trouble. Just never really kind of put the foot down. To be fair, Grimberg never really let him in either. And there's me thinking I could be going home in a couple of minutes here. That's the first day I was up, but Max pulled it out of the bag against Oscar Kalou of France. And to be fair to Max, I know he lost 5-4 in the last 32 the next day, but he actually played quite well. He was only 1 over for the 14 holes, but Charlie Forster of England made 3 birdies in a row to go from 2 up to 5 up, and sure, you can't do much about that.
Yeah. That's just once you get into the match play stage of that, the quality is just off the charts of players. Like what happens in match play, like it's just such a great event, and then to see history being made as well. So Jakob Olofsson becomes the first Danish golfer to win the amateur championship, only 25 years of age. Bit of a quirky swing on him.
Lefty.
Different way of getting it around. But yeah, like it was a really good final. Like I kind of skipped when the 2 Irish lads got knocked out. I kind of blanked out from this tournament and said I'll pick it up again. So the final, seeing the 2 boys in the final, and I watched a fair bit of the final now. It looked really good on TV. It was very one-sided between Olofsson and then Dominic Clemens, who tried to fight back in the final and the second round. You know, you have a 36-hole match situation. The same thing actually happened in Portmarnock with Jimmy Sugru.
Yeah,
when he was
Walker
playing.
started coming back at him. But it's funny, like, I suppose if you're getting hammered in the first 18, you still have a long way to go, because being 4 or 5 down after 18 holes, it's not as big a margin as it appears.
Yeah.
Because you can go out in the afternoon and do the exact same. Like, he was only 2 down as well, Dominic, after the first 18, so it's anybody's game at that stage. Yeah,
and he just got off to a ropey start. But yeah, I remember that in Portmarnock when Ewan Walker really came back at James Sugru. And like I think he got him to all square with 2 to play, from being 5-6 down at one stage during the final, and then Jimmy just kicked on, did what he did. But yeah, the same thing kind of happened here. Like it just totally summed up the highs and lows of amateur golf. The 10th hole in the second round on watching this. I don't know, did you see this where Clemens drove the green? So he'd won the previous hole, drove the green. So he is 5 down, I think, at this stage. Drives the green to about 15, 20 foot max. And this like is 390 odd yards, just shy of 400 yards. So pipes it in there. So Olofsson then steps up, carves one a bit right, clips it out left into the green side bunker like dead. You would just think dead. And he sticks it in the bin for a 3. Like, it was unreal, the drama of it. And then Clemens rolls in the eagle putt to clip it back to 4. And then you thought, oh, hang on a minute, this is on here, like pressure. Because he stood up onto the next end, hit like a 3-iron straight down the middle, like really left himself. But no, it just didn't happen in the end.
Yeah, it was great television. Like, I watched the quarterfinals the day after I came home, and every single match went to the 18th, with one of them going to the 20th. Like, it was absolute carnage.
Yeah.
But you got to see every shot, whereas when you're there live, you almost miss it all if you're only following one game.
No, definitely with stuff like that. But no, it was really good. So fair play. Like, huge riches on offer for the winner of that tournament, as always.
Danish golf is booming as well. Like, amateur champion, the Challenge Tour Order of Merit leader is Danish. So many Danes on the DP World Tour. Yeah.
No, they really are. And like, you know, we can't be, like, we're looking envious at them now, but we've had that for decades. They're just kicking on again, and more power to them. I'd like to know the structures the Danes have at present compared to what we have, from certain things we've highlighted earlier on in the year about what's happening at the top of our game. But no, it's good to see, and yeah, it's like I said, like serious riches. Olofsson gets into the Open Championship in Troon in a couple of weeks. He also secured his place in the Masters and the other 2 US majors next year. So that's a great year to look forward to. Yeah. Straight up.
Not much to write home about from the Irish point of view, though, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately. Well, moving in, you've been up in Portmarnock this morning. It's Monday morning. The opening round of the Women's Am got underway today. I know you were up there. You seen Sarah Byrne get off to a ropey enough start. But we have 11 Irish in the field.
11 Irish, yeah, and it's been a good start for most of them. It's hard to kind of gauge what's going to be a good or bad score because there's another round of stroke play tomorrow with the top 64 qualifying. But Kate Lanigan is 100 through 4. She's from the Hermitage, but this is definitely a home amateur for her because she plays golf in Portmarnock as well. Irish women's champion Anna Foster is level par through 15. Annabelle Wilson level par through 10. Sarah Burns got it back to 1 over through 11 after double bogey in the first. So yeah, Anya Dunnigan's plus through 6. So it's pretty good. Like that's the top 35. So it's been a promising start so far.
This is the one thing. So when like we were talking to people, or people was asking me questions about the two arms back to back and stuff like that. Even actually having a good conversation with Gary Murphy last week at Sea Point, and we'll get into Sea Point on that, like talking about how good of a chance we have with the women that are teeing up this week. Like the level of just the level of player that we have churning out at the top of the women and girls game is off the charts. And like any one of those girls that you named there, all fancy their chances of winning this week in Portmarnock.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you have to add Beth Coulter into that list as well, who's done well in the amateur before. She was second in the girls amateur a couple of years back as well. Like as Kate Lanigan told me last week, if she was a betting woman, she'd be back in one of the Irish. And it's hard to disagree with her. Like I know we've only got 11 in the field, but you'd be expecting to get 3, 4, 5 definitely into the match play stages. And then Portmarnock is a course that a lot of the girls have played over the last year or two. So it's definitely one they know well. It's one where I think home advantage will count more than it did in Ballyliffin as well.
Yeah.
And the conditions look absolutely beautiful.
And we'll get a serious crowd. If we get 5 of the Irish through to the match play stages in this, and they can manage to avoid each other as much as possible in the match play stages, as we get closer to that final, if we still have an Irish involvement. The same as Jimmy Sugru when it was out there. The crowds were just off the charts. Like I'll never forget standing on the first tee at like 6 a.m. in the morning before Sugru teed off his amateur championship final. And like at that time of a 36-hole match play, there's still 500-600 people around at that time in the morning. And it just grew and grew and grew. And like every time you talk to someone, the number gets bigger. But there was easily 5,000-6,000 people following that match around the course when it came to the end. It was just such an atmosphere. And I think we'll get the same in Portmarnock this week. Fingers crossed.
Even the field itself is top class. Like 4 players in the top 10 of the World Amateur Golf Ranking, 21 of the top 50. Sarah Byrne is actually the joint lowest handicap index as well, plus 8.2. So she'd be giving me 9 shots, I think. Played her in a match.
You had a nice interview with her actually over the weekend. For anyone like between last week's pod and this week, we released an interview Ronan did with Sarah, and she's on the cover of this month's magazine, and she's all over the place, all over all of our media stuff for the last couple of weeks. So it's obviously all building towards this week, and yeah, I just think they will turn up, they will perform this week. Fingers crossed.
I hope so. Could do with a bit of coverage over the weekend. But no, like it's going to be great, and Sarah would be definitely one of the favourites going into the event before teeing off. And even like going through Portmarnock, it's hard to escape the branding as well. They're really getting behind it, and there's a massive, big, huge placard just you turn right down Links Road, I think it is, and everything there. Like they've really got behind it over the last 6-7 months. And when you go, like you'll see it yourself, the setup is unbelievable, and it's free in. You're seeing some of the best players in the world. Like I don't see why you wouldn't go
on one of the best golf courses.
On one of the best golf courses.
Like the gates are normally closed at this place, so get up and have a look.
Yeah, the big elephant in the room will be a trial for the Open Championship, I presume.
Yeah, exactly. I know, like they'll definitely, they are on the road. I think we will see a women's and like one of those AIG Opens for the women. I think we'll definitely see that in the next 5-6 years, and then where do they go from there? I just don't know. Infrastructure wise, can it cope with an Open?
Yeah, it's not the most easily accessible. Of course, like driving down that road is a bit difficult at the best of times. But I know we'll see. Like it's good to see arguably Ireland's best golf course getting a bit of coverage again. Yeah. And look, James Sugar won there in 2019, and there's no reason why some of the girls can't go and emulate him. We spoke a lot about the lads trying to emulate James Sugar from Ballyliffin, but the girls have as good, if not a better chance of doing so.
Yeah, no, here. No, looking forward to that this week. Definitely make a trip up. Right, that's enough on the amateur side of things. Let's get stuck into the pro wrap up. So we've plenty of pro golf going on, so might as well kick it off. PGA Tour, copy paste again. Yeah, Scottie Scheffler win. It's like I hope you had your £100 on. That also went back up again.
The child is only 6 weeks old and he's been to 2 winners' presentations.
It's crazy, isn't it? I had to laugh at your message into the Slack group or WhatsApp group last night. What the hell? I wonder what was going through Scottie Scheffler's head when all the cops were running onto the green on the 18th. He was going, holy shit. Because when you actually look at the video and have a look around, like he's looking behind him going, what the fuck is going on here?
Baby Bennett's going to be visiting him in the scrubs.
Yeah, like
honestly, naming your child Bennett is grounds for at least being brought in for questioning.
But no, another Scottie win. Like again, like all the numbers and all are a bit off the charts. Like, you know, he's 28 million in earnings. He's won the last 5 signature events at this stage. Like that, I don't know.
Does it happen if the live players are playing on the PGA Tour?
No, it doesn't. Does it? I'd even go further. Does it happen if these are like our signature events working? Like it's the same people. There's merits to be had of the same people, but sometimes it's the guys with nothing to lose and everything to gain that actually, in the heat of battle, will actually stand up to Scottie Scheffler. And it's evident this year that nobody can consistently stand up to Scottie week in, week out. So we need as many players as possible. Maybe limiting the field to 70 players is not the way to do it. Well, 71 now. They've let Tiger into every event.
Yeah, you're talking about getting that one player who's having his who's just out of nowhere coming up and having a go. Yeah, I can get that.
I just there's no need to limit the fields in these events. I don't think have the same prize funds if they can still afford to do that and keep it going. But open up to 120, 150 players, and just widen it, because it's proved over a long period of time that they've been doing this now that you'll get one of the big boys that go up there, but it's very rare you get 2 of them going head to head. Like we had at the US Open with Bryson and Rory and stuff like that.
Well, sure, we had to check ourselves. Was it a signature event before we came on? Like, we just don't know. We don't really care. Yeah. It just doesn't grab you. Like the Euros are on as well, so I'm not watching it.
But like the Euros as well. It's mad. Like, does anyone even know the Euros is on? It's so... it's a bit like... It's a bit of a slow burner till we get out at like the group stage. I watched the Scotland game last night.
Brutal stuff.
They should have had a penalty.
I don't know. I think it was just a tangle of legs, and your man Stuart Armstrong was looking for
tangle of legs in the box. You know, Duffer would go mad if that wasn't given the shells. Go on. But no, it was like I didn't watch too much of this. To be honest, it was a bit of a mad finish with like Extinction Rebellion coming onto the green, spraying shit all over the place, and it was just carnage. It was mayhem. There was cops coming from everywhere, like spear diving lads. I seen Adam Hadwin actually. Did you see that? He put up a tweet this morning about at least when I was speared, I held on to me beer. Look at this fella. And he's showing a video of one of the lads getting absolutely harpooned out of it. It was just funny, like, but it was just.
I completely missed that, and then I got an email.
Yeah, they emailed us afterwards,
and I was thinking, this must be some like PR nonsense, because I got a PR email. Ireland are the most disciplined team at the Euros. We're not even in the bloody thing. So I just scrolled over that and I went onto Twitter and I was like, oh crap, everything's just exploded here. Yeah. But no, look,
it was weird, like, because like the boys come on, they sprayed their orange shit in the. Now the cops got into them. But it speaks volumes about the security at these events. I thought, like, if you remember back to the Scottish Open a few years ago, someone walking onto the tee box and whipping Rory's club out of the bag and stuff like that, and you just thought, like, those days are gone. Like, I'm sure Scheffler will be a bit peeved off, as will the other 2 that were on the green with him, about like how can people be led into a golf course with like spray canisters and stuff like that. Everyone's meant to be checked or x-rayed going in, and then
but
to be able to get onto the green, but like they have to run a bit to get onto the green. There's loads of stewards around, but especially
once you're through the gate, it is pretty easy to get out the other side of the ropes, to be fair. You know, and you say getting searched, you've been to games, I've been to games, you're just getting a pat on the shoulder and the arse, like, and you're in.
But no, I'm sure. But yes, like you'd be a bit scared, like if you're a Scheffler, lads just piling onto the green, and the lads getting spit. Because, like, it happens so fast, and then they've painted in around the hole, and you've Tom Kim, like, nearly putting beside this big blob of stuff, and Batia had to take, like, TIO, you had to take a drop away from the paint on the green, like, had to get a rules official in. And then they had to, because it was all destroyed around the hole, they cut another hole for the playoff. So the hole was brought to the front. Like, it was just bizarre circumstances. But yeah, I'd question.
It was a great finish, though, golf-wise. The shot Tom Kim hit in to bring it to a playoff was class.
What do you think of Tom Kim?
I love him.
Do you?
Yeah. Like, he's slow.
Yeah, he's cumbersome. I'm
slow,
not into how slow he is.
It doesn't get highlighted as much on TV because you can just cut in and out before he hits. He's a good character, good personality. Came across well in the Netflix series. Yeah. Obviously, he elevated himself with his celebrations in the President's Cup a couple of years ago, and his celebrations last night in 18 were very President's Cup-esque. So I like him. I enjoy watching him.
He's Cantley with a personality for me. That's like, he just in that sort of pace of play and what he does.
That's a bit Steve Clark. I'm not going to ask the referee because he's Argentinian.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, no, I actually texted that to a guy last night. Do you think that Archie ref would have given Boca Juniors that penalty if he was in their home? Absolutely. He'd be in a box tomorrow if he didn't. But yeah, we're getting stuck into the Euros again there for anyone that doesn't. Scotland. Yeah, I don't know. I have me doubt. Like, Batia has come on leaps and bounds. I followed him around because he played with Lowry for pretty much every game at the Masters this year. Followed him around, watched him in the flat. Like, he's a slip of a lad.
Nothing about him suggests he should be any good at golf.
No, but he's so good. Like, he's so consistent. Nice to see them two boys getting in there and keeping Scottie honest. Like, in fairness, unlike other events, they pushed him close. Kim pushed him close and brought him to a playoff. But yeah, there's just something about Tom Kim just annoys me with how slow he is. But yeah, the whole Extinction Rebellion thing, like, they're not winning any favours, they're not buying any friends doing this to sporting events, and I'm sure the RNA are looking at this going, oh shite, like, we have this to look forward to for the Open and like all that's going on there. So I'd say the security will be off the charts for the 72nd hole of that.
This isn't the first time something like that's happened, though, hasn't there been a Just Stop Oil thing before?
Was that the same crowd?
Yeah,
same crowd. Like, so yeah, it is. We had some good finishes, like further down. Shane Lowry tied ninth. Really serious golf. 69, 62, 65, 67. There's a few 62s pumped in this year now. The pressure is really off him.
He's got quite the highlight reel, actually. So many shots he's held out. So many shots are spinning up by the pin and everything. Long putts going in there.
There you go. Lovely. That's with his RTX wedges, his Cleveland wedges. Little nip into the sponsors there. And did you know you can trade them in as well? Good trade in going on at the minute. So yeah, no, but it is good to see Lowry
just doing well. If he could start majors quickly instead of shooting a 74 in the first round or something, he's playing well enough to contend.
The thing that really stands out for this with me with Lowry is always, and he's on record loads of times, is in he hates races to 21, 22, 23 under, because it's not his game. It's not his absolute strength. Whereas he's now contending like top 10 in a signature event. That's a birdie fest. That's a different type of Shane Lowry than we've seen in the past. That really difficult courses he performs well. And this was an open field, for want of a better way. That
same with the PGA.
Yeah. So it was really, really good to see him doing well at that and posting some seriously good scores. He's always like, when he's on with this new putter as well, he's rolling the rock really well. So yeah, like, we remarked on it when he won his card and had the handcuffs taken off, when him and Rory done well back a couple of months ago and claimed that team event. And yeah, seriously good. He is a dangerous man looking into this. Like, it's great to see. Like, he's up to 11th in the FedEx Cup standing. Still can't get my head around the fact that he's never qualified for the Tour Championships. Like, he's going to put that to bed this year. It's a pity it's in a year that someone probably have the Tour Championships wrapped up before. He doesn't need the 11th or 10, whatever he get, 8, 9 under, 10 under for the week, Scotty. So. But it's nice to see.
Jesus, I forgot about that.
Like, he's going to be so far ahead, and he's so far ahead statistically, and then they're going to give him 10 shots. Like,
that's bonkers.
It is. It's crazy. But Lowry sent some nice social media updates. Like, haven't seen home since January 3rd. Haven't seen my girls in over 4 weeks. Get me home, Aer Lingus. Happy with the golf of late. Looking forward to the rest of the summer with some huge weeks coming up. And they are some really huge weeks for him coming up. He will be licking his chops looking at Scottish Open, Open Championship, like some huge events coming up for him. And his game is right where he wants it to be.
Yeah, it's funny how golf can turn, because he fell out at the top 54 at the start of the year. He fell out at the top 50, at the start of the year to 54th. And I think we were starting to think, oh my God, he needs to do this. Will he be in the majors next year? Blah, blah, blah. We were wrong.
We were well wrong, yeah. But, it is nice to see him content. Like, it on other stuff as well, like Seamus Power, 62nd now on the FedEx Cup. He was one that I was saying, looking over his shoulder, what does he need to do? But posted a final round 63 yesterday, which is really, really good. Got him inside the top 20 and that. Like, the money available in these signature events, 241,000 he claimed for that, moved up. He just needs to stay inside that top 70. If he can push for the top 50, like, he's still in some big events. He'll be in the first end of season event, St. Jude, I think it is, first playoffs as well. So he, like, it doesn't take much when you're in there to actually do, and he's shown all the right signs, like, to put in a final round of that caliber of 63 is really good.
Yeah, like, it's funny, he's come back from the injury and he's been solid without doing anything really, to be honest. Like, he's had lots of top 25s, top 30 finishes. Just needs to get himself into the top 10. Like, he hasn't had one this year, and that's a couple of top 10s will sort everything for him, I think. Yeah. He'll keep his card. What
do you think of the overall of it? Did you watch any of the PGA Tour this week? Did you watch bits of it? Or?
I watched bits of it. I had a triple screen going on Sunday. So I didn't watch too much of it. I was actually watching more of the women's PGA until that kind of became a non-event in the end.
Yeah, it's such a climb down from Pinehurst to this that we were served up this week. Yeah. Like, it's hard to dust yourself off from what we had last week to watching this.
It's one of those where you might tune in for the last 4 or 5 holes because it's tight and it's exciting. But yeah, after watching so much strategic and golf, watching like shots to 20 feet be regarded as like world-class shots, you're watching these just birdie fests. And like, yeah, there's obviously a place for it. I don't mind the birdie fests, but it's just such a after watching last week.
And we've a load of them coming up. Like, we've like, you know, John Deere Classic and all that
placing
sort of
there last night.
Yeah,
well.
they did all week. They'd placing. Like, it's just, it really takes away, and that's a signature event as well. But yeah, like another Scheffler win. Like, it's just it's a bit bonkers. 5 signature events is just off the charts when you consider the money that's in play. But like, only one major is what he's coming away so far. Like, I don't know, Troon. Without getting into the Open Championship, I don't think Troon's going to suit him.
Oh, just stop. Like,
what? Like,
you can't say that.
What? Like, the last major didn't suit him. He went to bits in the last major. I hope Troon smacks him in the face a little bit. I hope.
It's funny how he'll be thought of if he doesn't win another major. I know he's obviously won the Masters. Yeah, I know he won the Masters this year, and that's arguably enough. Like, it's a fantastic year.
Yeah.
But like, if he doesn't contend, you're kind of like, yeah, you're winning all these signature events, but you know,
there's only 70 lads to beat.
Yeah, you know, it's just take a bit of the gloss off. I don't know, but just having him being a non-factor in the last couple of majors at the weekend, it was a nice kind of different.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing how he reacts to Troon, because like, he could easily come out and win Troon doing handstands, but I just don't fancy it around there. I don't.
The postage stamp will get him.
Yeah, it'd be savage. No, I'm looking forward to that. You played it a few weeks ago, actually, in the Open Day. How did you get on?
I actually played well, yeah. I drove. It's tough, though.
Yeah.
It is tough.
It's a brute of a golf course.
Yeah. The long drive was on the 18th, and would have driven the green if I didn't hit a bloody bunker, but we won't go on about it.
Finally, PGA Tour then. Rory's statement, what do you think after last week? Doing the right thing?
He's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, really, isn't he? Like, a lot of people are saying he should just play and, you know, get on with it, own it, and just accept it, because he's not going to play now until Scotland. So is he kind of just hiding away and wallowing in the fact he did lose the US Open, as we discussed last week? The statement, it was, classy enough, I suppose. He said a lot of the right things, as he usually does in these kind of... I know it was probably glossed over by everybody on his PR team.
Not just glossed over, they wrote it, I'd say. Like, it's just like, right, this is what we're putting out. Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah, that'll do, pig.
And it probably was his toughest day, like, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it would have been. But I would have liked to see him coming out and talking to someone in the last week.
I'd like to see him playing.
Yeah.
Play.
It would have.
You don't have to do media. Yeah. You just play.
You kind of have to when you play. That's the thing. If he's there, it just makes it worse if he doesn't talk.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, no. I understand the statement. Not back to the Scottish Open. It's only a couple of weeks away, so it's not the end of the world. But
yeah, and he's played like a serious amount of golf this year, more than I remember him playing in the last decade, I suppose.
Yeah, but he's done that on purpose to try and get himself into major. And it has worked because the US Open clicked, but then he goes back to, fuck this, I'm not playing for a few weeks and I'll come back for the Scottish and the Open. Is that enough reps just before the Open? I don't know.
Yeah, and you're almost bringing more pressure on yourself by kind of going in behind the curtain there for a few weeks. Now you're back and all the attention's going to be on you because of what happened, because it's going to be everybody's last memory of you.
Yeah.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, really, like.
Yeah, typical catch-22. Right, DP World Tour, Guido Migliozzi.
I actually watched a bit of this.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I watched the 18th hole in regulation. I watched the playoff, and I watched bits and pieces then throughout the day. The playoff was some crack.
That's his 4th or 5th win, like.
Yeah, he's just not consistent, but like when he gets in the contention, he doesn't back off.
Oh, he wins.
Like, he'd be a great Ryder Cup player.
That shot that he hit, was it in Paris, in France?
Yeah,
into the 18th, like, it was like world class still.
That's what he's capable of.
Yeah, it was so good. But no, it was great to see him win again. Like,
he'd be a great 4-ball player in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, because he's just so aggressive. He's so aggressive. But no, it was a good playoff. What are your takeaways from this then?
Just kind of what we said about Guido. He just doesn't back off when he's in contention. I felt bad for Joe Dean and Marcus Kinhult. They both birdied the first hole as well, and you'd think maybe someone's going to make a mistake, and unfortunately it was those two. The shot Kinhult hit into the 18th was just horrendous. Complete another fat.
Just pure pressure.
Yeah, it's funny because you think it wouldn't be there because they played the first playoff hole, but obviously was. And Joe Dean obviously drove it left and had to kind of hack out, and he nearly put it in the water as well. If it wasn't raining and they weren't doing the placing, he would have been in a bit of bother. At one point, when I saw McKibbin at 9 under, I was like, okay, hang around here and, don't go home yet, Tom. Don't book the flight home. But it was another great week for him, up 5 places into the top 20 on the race to Dubai. And I think what's even more impressive is that high of, playing 4 rounds at your first major. He comes back and you're playing the KLM Open. It's a bit ho-hum. He still finished in 6th place. Yeah. Like, his consistency on the DP World Tour is pretty good.
Yeah, like a final round 65 gets it done every day of the week anyway for...
Your boy Manacero choked.
Matteo, yeah. Oh, listen, he's getting ready for it. He's other things in his mind. He has majors to chase now. This is only this is beneath him now, this tournament like this. But nice consolation for the 2 boys that lost in the playoff. Both claimed the Open spots in the Open Series.
The Joe Dean story is some story as well.
Yeah. No,
he's
it really
come from
is.
Just nowhere.
Like pure obscurity. But it'll be interesting. Like Tom McKibbin, obviously he's still not in the Open field yet. No. He's playing this week in Italy. He's not playing next week at the BMW, and then he's Scotland, and you'll have final qualifying in that sort of gap that he's not playing the BMW. So yeah, it's running out of chances. But he's knocking on the world's top 100 now. I think he's up to 102nd in the world, 103rd in the world. So he's just his career progression is only going one way, and he's only getting better and better and better. And by looking at him, if he gets himself in a chance to win, he's going to go through.
He's 128th in the world. Relax.
No, he was going up. No, they're not updated yet.
I'm looking at it.
Well, your man last night was posting about it. He'd be up to 103rd or so in the world.
He's had a day off.
What's his name?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
He's had a mare.
No, he hasn't had a mare.
But he posted Scottie Scheffler's won the most world ranking points since Tiger in 2000.
It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. But no, yeah, Tom he's he's on a different stratosphere, like career progression wise. So
top tens every second week.
It's crazy, like ATM.
Literally top tens every second week since the Qatar Masters,
and that's in like February.
Yeah.
Like it's bonkers. No, it is bonkers. But no, I'm loving seeing it. So yeah, and chances are he'll contend again this week. He'll get himself, and these are on all different. Like going from Pinehurst to the KLM Dutch Open, and airplanes landing on the golf course nearly, and like it's right beside the airport. And like you've these big jumbo jets coming down across. The grass is totally different. The playability, firmness, and all that. It just goes to show how good he is. Not many came across, dropped back from Pinehurst to come across and play in that event straight away. And then you see what he does. Goes and puts himself right in contention again. So that'll be class. Challenge Tour.
Yeah, good week for Mark Power, Alex Maguire, and Rory McGee. Mark was 17th, and then Maguire and McGee were both in 20th place. John Parry won a playoff.
Yeah,
won a playoff. Yeah, for his third Challenge Tour win. So he's pretty much back on the DP World Tour now as well. But it was good to see, particularly Mark Power and Alex Maguire have good weeks, because it's not been the easiest season for them on their first year on the Challenge Tour.
Limited starts as well. You really have to take advantage of the times you do get out. And McGee will be a bit peeved off, I'd say, if he dropped back a little bit. Like he was closer, got off to a decent start, didn't he? And it just
he opened up with a 67. It's been like that the last couple of weeks for him as well. Like it's just
shown signs, but
not putting the 4 rounds together, which at that level you really need to, because if you don't, you're not really getting anywhere.
Yeah,
like you're only claiming a couple of grand. Like it's peanuts.
You just need the points to kick on and get yourself as close to that top 20 as possible. And that's highlighted as well, even when you do take the step up, like we were saying there about Guido, another win. That highlights the difference or the importance of being on a tour for a year or two and hopefully moving on. Like the importance of getting off the DP World Tour now and one of those 10 cards, when you see what Pavon has done and players like that this season. Like Guido, for his win, got 340 odd thousand. I think when you were looking it up beforehand,
they were putting 14th in the signature event last week.
Just goes to show the difference, like, and the world ranking points as well. Like it's very hard to progress on. So the importance of those top 10. I know we gave it a lot of abuse as well. You're giving away, but like you need that up down for players that they can. There's something there to play for, not just the money, because the money's great and all, but they're spending a fortune doing this, and they just need that succession to kick on.
Yeah, like Migliozzi didn't even get into the top 100 after winning.
Yeah, like
but 198 to 122, like you might as well not bother.
It's bonkers, isn't it? But yeah, no, it's good to see the lads in the Challenge Tour. Sort of, I don't know when we'll see them again. That's the thing. It's like it's hard to get a constant run of. I know they're running on invites, some of them, and running on Golf Ireland starts and stuff like that. So we do have a couple of home events here as well. Like we've the K Club coming up not too far away. So you'd like to think that at the same time when it was in the K Club the last time, we'd a lot of it. Like Tom McKibbin came close to winning that. John Murphy was up there. Gary Hurley. There's so many of them just took advantage of that, and that was the difference between them getting off the tour and staying on the Challenge Tour. The last time, it's a nice time of the season as well in the K Club. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's just difficult. Like McGee was only making his third start, and we're over the midway point in the season. Like it's just so hard to gain any momentum. Like, and that's probably why he hasn't put the 4 rounds together. Yeah,
the right, Live Golf. Please tell me you watched some Live.
You know what video on Live I watched, but we're not allowed to discuss it here.
Wait, Hawk Tua, that one. You're allowed to discuss that. That's no problem at all.
Yeah, Tyrrell strikes me as a man who's going to go home now to the wife and be like, 4 million. That's it, 4 million.
Just walk in with a suitcase full of money and open it. Great weekend for modest golf for the lads like Mark Mack and Niall Horan. They like it's obviously 2 of their players. It's serious going, like.
Yeah, and in fairness, this actually was a good leaderboard, even though it was one-sided in Hatton's favour. Like Joaquin Neiman, John Rahm, DeChambeau were up there. John Rahm shaking off that old toe injury pretty quickly. But no, look, I don't know what to say, really, to be honest. I didn't watch a bit of it. I never do.
Well, anyway,
fair play to him. Like, Hatton's been playing well recently as well.
That's the thing. And, like, yeah, you can take everything with a pinch of salt and live, but, like, to win a golf tournament with professionals in it by 6, we'll talk about the team thing separately, but, like, to win the individual by 6, final round 65, like, 19 under for 3 rounds is unreal golf. It's first win for him, for Hatton, individual win in 3.5 years. So, yeah, lots of positives for him to take. Like, on the team side of things, they won the team. So he's taken more than 4 million. He's taken about 5 million home. On the team side of things, so Legion, whatever they're called.
Legion XII.
Legion 13. 40 under. Then they just edged out the Crushers at 35 under. Casey DeChambeau, Lahiri and John Catlin. Then Torquay GC back at 34 under, and then the Majestics out of nowhere. The Majestics coming in. So we've Horsfield, Westwood, Poulter, and Stenson.
This really is England's greatest team.
Yeah, it's coming home. If the Majestics are up there pumping scores in, it's coming home. But yeah, Bryson. Bryson, as always, just was the juice this week. Brought the storylines.
There was a decent crowd at this as well.
There was,
to be fair.
Nashville, Tennessee. It's not. That's it. Like, that Hawk 2 girl was Nashville as well, wasn't she? It's going viral all over the place. It's just mental. But and Bryson driving a 416 par 4. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah, that was so good.
Savage. So good.
The Range Goats, third bottom. Bubba needs to go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sack the board.
Sack the board. They're gone. They're finished.
And G-Mac second last in the team.
Yeah, but they're just having an off week. That's grand.
Yeah.
They're doing well.
They'll be back.
They'll be back. What are they? They're Smash GC. Yeah,
Smash.
Forgot them.
Smash.
Had a brain fart there.
Smash Burger.
Right, no, we'll Park Live Golf then. We had a win. Like, it's taken us 47 minutes to get into. Like, we obviously had an Irish win on tour with Paddy Harrington as well in the seniors.
Yeah.
Three in a row. A turkey as they do in bowling.
Yeah. The dick's open. Look, it's class. Like, 8 Champions Tour wins is nothing to be sniffed at, and he's in serious form now going into the US Senior Open this week, which of course, if he wins, gets him into the US Open next year, which of course will only just spur on dreams that Paddy will give us one more back 9 in the major. But
he just has his eyes on Troon. He's looking at all these are just warm-ups for Troon.
But like, he hadn't played in 4 weeks, and he was talking about how bad his focus and concentration was while sharing the lead after 2 rounds. He's just nuts. No,
it's great. It's great to see. Like, he, there's nothing that we haven't said about Padraig Harrington when we were talking a couple of weeks ago about the Hall of Fame. But to bounce straight back, first tournament back, get a win again, and do it 3 in a row. Did you see in the interview afterwards? Because he was saying about, this is brilliant, and the tournament sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, they've announced another 5 years, so I have a chance to go to 8 in a row. And your man was saying to him, like, I believe your wife Caroline is looking for property in the area. This is your lucky spot and all that. And he's like, but I thought if I won 3 of these, that Dick's Sporting Goods would give me one of their superstores.
They should.
He wants to shop.
They should. He always plugs them as well.
I know, yeah, no, it's so good. Why wouldn't he plug them? He's on a retainer of like 300 grand a year off them or something.
Yeah, probably.
Crazy, like, but it's good.
It's funny, like, you go into the Hall of Fame and people think it's your swan song, this is your bowing out. There's no way, like, this fella's going to be here for the next 5-6 years, still winning all around him. It's
crazy how good, like, it is crazy how good it is. On the, like, there's not much else to be added on that. Like, it was a great win, like, as you're saying.
It's hard to say much because it's not on TV.
Yeah,
because you haven't really seen it.
Yeah, but like the US Open this week, the Senior US Open will be interesting to see, because his game, you'd like to think he's probably on the range already hitting balls there. Like, that's the thing.
Actually, when he put 3 fingers.
Oh yeah,
Did you zoom in on his fingers? They're in absolute bits.
Yeah, he's the best.
Jesus Christ!
Did you see that was taken on Michael Jordan's thing? Did you see that on the championship? Why he was doing that with the cigars?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The same as Michael Jordan when he won 3 with the Bulls.
Yeah,
3 of them basketball things.
Yeah,
you're just looking at me going,
fake
like,
sport.
what? Like, it's not even a real sport. But yeah, that was like it was good to see. Like, but yeah, we'll judge him on the US Open next week. We had a major on as well, LPGA, the KPMG
Women's PGA
was on.
This after having the US Open last week, I was like, we're on for another all-timer here. You had Leona up there, you had Charlie Hull up there, Lexi up there in her last year before retiring, and then it was so bad. Then after that, like Amy Yang, she was 7 or 8 shots ahead at one stage, won by 3, bit of a wobble, but like it was never in doubt. And unfortunately, it kind of did become unwatchable. It's something you fear Scottie Scheffler doing in a major, to be honest. But Leona, she had a good chance going into the weekend, and yeah, look, didn't go her way at all. Ended up finishing 24th.
Yeah, 75-76 into the weekend. She had herself, like I think she was 4th going into the weekend.
Yeah, she had a good chance.
On a really difficult golf course. And she was saying all the right things. It was totally, like, it's a game of chess, that golf course. She loved the setup of it, the feel of it.
But like, she's not played well all year, and you could probably look like she was in that position for the first time in a long time. Like, she hasn't had a stroke play top 10 this year. I know she came second in the match play, but stroke play, it's not been a good year for her so far. But there were promising signs, obviously, getting herself in contention in a major going into the weekend. So hopefully she can take those positives, even though the weekend was very disappointing.
A lot of golf, that's all I'll say. She's done 7 or 8 weeks in a row. I seen she probably on the same flight home as Shane Lowry. Aer Lingus was carrying them all home last night before they go on strike. They were all bailing in. So she's home now and not back to the States for another good few months as well. Like, they have obviously got the Open, the Olympics coming up, all that sort of stuff. The KPMG Women's Irish Open as well. So there's lots going on back this side of the Atlantic. So yeah, delighted to be home. A lot of golf. It kind of showed at the weekend. She hasn't driven the ball well this year, which is unusual for her. Like, she's still averaging 20. Like, even for that tournament, she was still averaging 28 putts a round, which is, you'd expect, good, still really, really good. Like, the most putts she had in any round, I think, was 31. But 75, 76 over the weekend will really annoy her, because that was a serious opportunity for her to put in a good major finish. And, like, she likes collecting trophies, but she likes collecting money as well. And it's like, it's a big, big prize fund that was. So it's an opportunity missed. But yeah, the hard work hopefully will pay off for Leona over summer. But she will get the results. Like, we're facing at the Solheim Cup as well. She's firmly in that team. So a lot to look forward to. On the roundup then, we had, obviously, the Olympic teams are set. With Rory.
I felt bad for Bryson.
Yeah, it was I can understand. I don't know why they wouldn't change it a little bit, like an Olympics, because he probably would have went if he was allowed go. I don't know if he'd come out and say that.
I don't know how it works, but
if he was allowed go, he'd come out and do it. And the fact that he's won a USGA event recently, but just the setups on the way it is, he's kind of, most people say you've made your bed, lying it. You chose to go that route with Liv. They're not counted. You're not high enough up the world rankings. It just goes to show the importance of world rankings and everything. It underpins everything, and how broken the system is, though, that, the Olympic teams are set and there's no Bryson in it.
He's 9th.
I know, yeah.
He still didn't get on the team. It's mad.
Yeah. Because I think they're only allowed 4 max.
4, yeah.
So there's obviously guys ahead of him. So we have Rory and Shane going, and we've Leona and Steph. Same team as we had before. A lot of experience. The lads got close to a medal the last time. Nice to see the team set and done. And it's just such a pity. I know we say it every year with the Olympics. Such a pity there's no team element to it, that it's just like individual stroke play again.
Yeah. Liv could have their own Olympics.
That's it. Give the boys medals.
Yeah, it's funny. Like,
then we'll see how long they'll stick around. We give them medals instead of money.
It's funny, and maybe more for the men, but you don't grow up as a golfer dreaming of an Olympic medal. Maybe you do as a woman, because it's just different. Like, as a woman, you play so many different sports when you're younger, and women's golf is kind of growing in a different direction. But if Bryson was there, I'd 100% be tuning in. Now, I'll tune in if the 4 Irish have medal chances, but it is kind of growing on me, golf in the Olympics, but just compared to all the other sports that are on offer there, it's not high on the list for me.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I feel about it, to be honest.
No, I kind of agree with you on it. Like, you You look at like Justin Rose done well from winning the first one.
Yeah, but he just bangs on about it. Like,
then Xander winning the last one as well. Like
never hear a peep out of Xander winning his Olympic medal.
No.
Whereas Rose for nearly 10 years now. Oh, I'm an Olympic champion. He just parades it around.
That's you have to go full on Michelle Smith with it, like bit of water for Crystal. It was the horse's fault. It wasn't mine. So yeah, like there's not much else to be added on the Olympics. Like we'll have preview stuff coming up over the next month and all that. Sea Point is the last kind of area that we look at. The Irish Legends was on. I was up there on a couple of days on Thursday, Friday. You were up there Saturday, the last day. Good event.
Yeah, it actually was.
Really good event.
Definitely a lot better than last year, just in terms of how busy it looked, and there was a good buzz about the place, like a nice, healthy crowd. Followed Gary Murphy down the last hole as well in the penultimate group. So Sea Point, did a great job. Like loads of players were full of praise for it as well. So you just gotta kind of tip your hat to them. So
funny seeing it, like following Angel Cabrera around Tournament Feckin. But honestly, it was gas. Like on the Thursday when I was up there, like it's like I ventured onto the golf course. He was like 3 holes from finishing, and followed him and there was a nice crowd with him and stuff like that. It was just so funny.
They better players this year.
Yeah,
I think
definitely
a few big names.
Still need to get more of the bigger names as well. Like McGinley will play in it next year, hopefully. It needs more Irish lads playing it. It needs McGinley and Harrington. Like imagine what that would be like if we could get Harrington. Find a date that suit Harrington. Yeah. And get Harrington, McGinley, a few of them, build it around the Irish, and that, like, you would pack the place. We just don't get to see it often enough. But no, hats off to Sea Point, all at Forefront Sports as well for running a great event, and it like gives us a taster as well of their organisation of what they're planning for the KPMG Women's Irish Open as well. That's going to come on fast as well, and same people organising that event. So yeah, looking forward to that one. So anything else to add? No, I'm ready to go back to Portmarnock now. We've kind of rambled on a bit now for an hour, just kept going. Yeah, it's heroes and villains time. You always, if we get to heroes and villains, you just laugh. Have you any notes on? Nope. No. Just who do you think of? Hero. The Hawk Tucker. Nah, Bryson. Just for driving that 416-yard green, I think it was. Yeah. And then the villain, obviously, that clown, no golf on a dead planet. Well, there's 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, but the fella with the T-shirt, I just saw one picture. Extinction Rebellion or whatever they're called, yeah. The Orange Oil lads. They were at Stonehenge as well the other day. Were they? Yeah, painting Stonehenge as well. Yeah, I'd like heroes. It's been done to death, but like Harrington to do what he did again, like just for the week that's in it. Yeah, Bryson is good. Like just like how Harrington he's the gift that keeps on giving, just keeps coming back and back and back, and to get a win. Yeah, it's good. I'll stick him down as my hero. Villain. Did you like? I don't know, is it hero or villains, borderline, but drones on golf courses. Did you see John Ram go, man? Yeah, he went spastic. He hates it out there. He absolutely hates it. By him, he would give the $500 million back tomorrow if he hadn't spent half it already. Even like I saw videos of them all warming up on the range, and the music is pounding. Yeah. I'd hate that. Yeah, no, it's alien to him, but yeah, he's not having a good time. But yeah, I'd stick the L drones down as villains. Golfers losing their shit, Ram meltdown. The hot mics were brilliant. They always are and live. Like it's the risk you put when you put microphones into the holes. You're just gonna catch guys out. And like between Ram and Tyrrell Hatton, both on the same team, it's box office. Like you could follow them pair around, and the hot mic action is just off the charts. So yeah, that's the heroes and villains. So nothing else to get into. You can follow everything that Ronan's exploits over in Portmarnock. He's going to make his way over there now and keep up to date on all the women's stuff from over there. And yeah, thanks to Cleveland Tricks and Golf for the sponsorship of the pod this week. We'll be back again this time next week, hopefully with an Irish winner from over in Portmarnock. And yeah, lots more to round up on. So for me, Pete, Ronan, goodbye. Cheers for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.